Hello everybody, it's Serafina and I'm here with your daily tarot insight. So before we begin, I would like to call upon the spirit of the universe that loves us unconditionally. I would like to call upon the spirits of this land, of this island, and of this ocean, and I thank them for holding this space and for their ancient wisdom. And I would like to call upon my guides, my ancestors, my team of light, my archangels, and my higher self, and I thank them for their presence and guidance with this collective reading. Okay, so today is the summer solstice. Happy solstice to everybody. So what's happening is that the sun is at its apex in the northern hemisphere, at least, and that means that it's closest to the North Star Polaris that we observe in the sky. And so if you were to even visually see this, it's kind of like a pyramid, because we have Polaris up here, which is our North Star. It's never fluctuate, never changes. And then we have the sun, which is going on the elliptical relative to the Earth. And so right now it's at its highest point. So literally we could imagine like a pyramid over Earth. So what does that mean? I interpret it as a pyramid of light. And it is no secret that the sun contains a lot of information. If you think about it, it's a star that kind of digests the energy of our solar system and then spits it out back renewed. So I interpret these days, or this day specifically, as us receiving solar light codes. Obviously on collective levels of renewal, of nurturing, of insights, of prophecy, and those can always trickle down into our personal lives. So it's always a good reflection. How far have you come in the last 6 months since the winter solstice? What has been growing within you? And now that it's reached its blossoming point, we're going to start the descension back into darkness. And it's kind of like saying this fruit that just ripened, what is it going to transform to? And not only that, but what is it going to compost for the coming year? But I also just like the reminder of just celebrating ourselves in this luminosity. I feel that reaching this new height of light is also an opportunity for us to just recognize how far we've come and not always be thinking about what we need to heal or what is coming next, or nitpicking ourselves and how we qualify our healing journey, but just being able to celebrate ourselves in our raw and authentic beauty. Okay, so let's get into the tarot. Beloved spirit of the universe that loves us unconditionally, what loving guidance is there for the collective today? What loving guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Page of Wands. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Two of Pentacles. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Nine of Swords. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Four of Wands. Beautiful. And I'm going to choose one more tarot. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the High Priestess. Beautiful. I always love seeing the High Priestess. Let's grab an oracle card from this deck. What further guidance is there for the collective today on this summer solstice? We have Halls of Amenti Initiation. Secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, initiations. How special. I had never seen this card before. Secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, initiations. Summer solstices always kind of feel like initiations, right? So much light that's coming through. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have happiness with a beautiful bird there. And I'm going to pick an archetype. What archetype speaks to the collective right now? What archetype speaks to the collective right now? We have the mirror. Okay, this is already looking so interesting. So I decided that today I'm going to try a little bit of a different modality. Instead of interpreting directly the cards, I'm going to allow the information to flow through me. And I'm going to speak to you like if this was a reading directly for you. So I know that you are enthusiastic and courageous. I know that you have been here for various lifetimes and that new information has been coming to you regarding your path, regarding your passions. But not only that, but the innermost, deepest passions of your soul and what your soul is guiding you towards. These new interests, these new hobbies, these new information that come to you, it's not out of the blue. It's actually synchronicity speaking to you. So allow the creative fire within you to continue your journey and your spiritual quest so that you may keep on forging this wand, so you may keep on developing yourself, and it's leading you to where your soul needs to go. I know that there's lots of things on your table right now, or maybe there's even a decision that you have to make. You may even be feeling overwhelmed, like these choppy waters don't give you a moment to breathe. The moment you finish one obstacle, there's another fire that you're having to turn out. But don't worry. Balance is the natural state of the universe, of life. And that means that it's your natural state. So let's be able to find that balance within ourselves, within our priorities, and within our passions. I know that you must have anxiety at times and maybe even sleepless nights. But need I remind you that the cosmos, your guides, your allies are always behind you. They're always supporting you. And all you need to do is to reach out and ask them because they cannot intervene on your free will. But most of all, recognize that sometimes when we feel overwhelmed and we don't know where to focus our priorities and what passions to cultivate, sometimes we make the problem bigger than what it actually is. So let's allow ourselves to actually fall asleep and have trust that stability is coming. Stability is coming for you. You have people around you who genuinely support you, who genuinely love you. And if we can take a moment to look around and recognize how much we already have, or the fact that all of our needs have been taken care of, we would celebrate. And we would be able to recognize how far we actually have come. Because you have been listening to yourself. You have been listening to that God voice inside of yourself, which has been leading you along the way. Yes, sometimes you have deterred off path. Sometimes it has caused you sorrow. It has caused you pain. But that makes you appreciate the celebrations a little bit more. So on this summer solstice, I ask you to celebrate the sun, to celebrate your luminosity, to celebrate everything that your soul has done to come up to this point in this lifetime and this incarnation. But let's not forget the power of the moon. The moon, which helps balance out, to moisten the harshness and the burn of the sun. The sun is a benefic star in our planet, in our solar system, and without it, we wouldn't exist. However, the moon comes to give us balance, and without the moon, there would be no life on Earth. We are all going through a process of initiation over the last couple of years. Some of us have been stepping up to the plate. Some of us have not been stepping up to the plate. But if you are watching this reading right now, you have stepped up to the plate and you are going through a personal initiation process. Your etheric body has been rewired and it's been rewiring all this time. So don't forget to mention or to recognize those little moments of happiness, those little moments of bliss, that morning sunlight that comes in through your window, the grass that is growing outside, the cat that is purring at the end of your bed. These moments of happiness are what sustain you through all of these illusions, all of these mirrors. Sometimes are distorted, sometimes they are hazy, sometimes they are accurate. But let's not get lost in this house of mirrors and walk forward with diligence towards our initiation as we cultivate the passions of our soul, of our past lives, which are leading us to our highest path of initiation. So I actually want to read from this card of the mirror. I feel like it has a further message for us. The mirror, the reflection, the illusion, the looking glass. We look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into other realms. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in the pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, we could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognize the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. So when in light, it is witnessing the deeper self, and it is pure awareness. And when it's dark, it is narcissism, comparison, harsh edges. So I feel that this is actually speaking to the initiation that many of us are going through, because I even see this as like a portal, that lots of us are going to be moving through right now. Some of us quicker, some of us not so quick, some of us still have some stuff to let go, right? We're still forging things, working on our priorities, working through unnecessary drama, unnecessary anxiety, only to realize that we have everything we need. It's a moment of celebration, and that we are divinely guided, and that the ultimate test is to listen to that voice that we had inside of ourselves. So as we go through these halls of initiation, let us not be distracted by the blurry mirrors, or even by the narcissistic tendencies that we may have by comparing ourselves to others, because that's another side of the ego, and just keep on our own path diligently. And happiness is right there. Happiness is right around the corner, right around the bend, or in this present moment if you choose to find it there. So one last card I want to choose is of Goddess Isis, because another interesting fact about the summer solstice is that this was considered like the New Year's for the Egyptians, because that means that the Nile would start to flood, and of course the Nile was a main source of life for the Egyptians. So also the Egyptians, as you know, revered the sun a lot. They have the solar deity Ra, and Isis is also very associated with, I mean, all of the pantheon are basically children of Ra, Bastet, Osiris, Tehuti. So what a perfect deck to choose. Okay, so beloved Lady Isis, Lady Osset, what loving, okay, we have divine masculine energy. And how perfect, because I was actually contemplating today that today is the day that the sun enters Cancer, and Cancer is very related to the moon and nurturing, and it's very motherly, right? The moon is at home in Cancer, so it's a very female and nurturing sign. But how interesting that we just had Father's Day a couple of days ago, and the sun is more akin to masculine energy, to the father archetype, right? So how interesting that we have that polarity dance, right? Where we're entering to Cancer season, but we're celebrating the height of masculine energy, the sun. And that goes back a little bit to what I was speaking of before, of like celebrating the sun, but recognizing the importance of the moon. Without the moon, there would be no life on earth. We would, the sun would scorch us. So let's see what this card has for us. The divine masculine within men and women is the energy that allows for protection, discernment, healing, and a sense of deep safety and holding, even through the most uncomfortable circumstances of life. When the masculine within us is healthy and strong, we have an inner strength to hold ourselves safe through anything. Your inner masculine is going through healing right now, growing stronger in his ability to offer you inner protection and stability so that your inner feminine can blossom with creative expression. The inner masculine and inner feminine need each other. When they are in good inner relationship within us, we feel healthy, whole human beings. We are able to live our lives in a world in a relatively peaceful, creative, and enjoyable way. We may also, when the inner masculine has difficulty standing up for its own truths, we may feel as that we have to fight constantly. We may also feel that unless others see things the way we do, we have no power. This oracle indicates your feminine self is blossoming and your masculine needs to be able to protect and honor her. Sometimes, just as Isis looked for Osiris to put him back together when he was torn apart by hatred, fear, and jealousy of his dark brother Set, our feminine needs to help the masculine to heal so he can in turn help her. That's a really interesting message, actually. And let me read that again. Our feminine needs to help the masculine to heal so he can, so in turn, he can help her. And this is something that I have noticed a lot recently doing personal readings for people. A lot of them are regarding relationships. And I have noticed how the masculine really is wounded. I think both of us are, but I really notice how the masculine has a little bit, or its wounds are more perceptible right now. And there are lots of women who are wanting to pour unconditional love into their representation that they found of the masculine. And sometimes the masculine has trouble standing up and changing for itself. However, I think boundaries are very important, but I also think that if you identify as feminine and you're dealing with a masculine who is having trouble healing his wounds of trauma, expressing emotions, I really think that compassion and love go a long way. So it doesn't mean you have to stay in their life right now and, deliver all of your assets to them and all your energy. But I do think that allowing the masculine space to grow, space to heal, space to be wrong, to emit their emotions is really, really important right now. Your masculine consciousness can be healed and grow stronger through his relationship to the inner feminine within you by adjusting and healing your own views of masculine energy so that our feminine is no longer willing to experience masculine energy as violent, aggressive, unfeeling, or controlling. A healing shift begins. This oracle guides you to realize that your inner masculine can benefit from some restoration and healing after being ravaged by expectations that in order to be acceptable, you should never feel anything. So I think that this is going to resonate differently for other people, but I feel that more as a collective message. Osiris, who was the deep lover of Mother Isis, he was a representation of devotion, of love, of fertility, and he also was a ruler of the underworld. I feel that his presence here is indicating that there needs to be a deeper sinking into the healing of our masculine energies within ourselves and outside of ourselves. And if we have the strength and the space and the capacity to love, to be able to hold space for our masculines in our life, then let's do that, because that is what is needed at a collective level right now. Okay, everybody, I hope that this was useful to you. If this resonated with you, if it triggered you, if you have a comment, I invite you to comment below. I would love to hear your insights. Other than that, if you would like a personal reading with me, you can go to my website and we could find a time for you. Other than that, I will be back here shortly with another video for you. Bye.